Your cat just froze in the middle of the hallway, staring at nothing. Again, you laugh it off, call them weird. But here's what most owners don't realize. Your cat isn't seeing ghosts. They're seeing danger. Real danger hiding in plain sight all over your home. Indoor cats have senses tuned to detect threats you'll never notice until it's too late. They spot the toxic plant before you see the wilted leaf. They feel the electrical hum before the outlet sparks. And when they stare at that empty corner, they've already picked up on something your human senses completely missed. Today, we're decoding 8 everyday home hazards your cat is silently screaming about. And here's the part that might save their life. The final hazard on this list is so common, so invisible to humans, that it's in almost every home right now, including yours. Let's start with the first one. Why does your cat suddenly refuse to walk past that pretty new plant you just brought home? Because to them, it smells wrong. Dangerous. Here's what's happening behind those cautious eyes. Cats have a vomeronasal organ, basically a second nose on the roof of their mouth that analyzes chemical signals. When they encounter a toxic plant like a lily, philodendron, or pothose, their system registers it as a threat before they ever take a bite. But here's where owners accidentally set a trap. You see your cat ignoring the plant and think, great, they're not interested, so you keep it. The plant stays near their food bowl, their favorite window, their escape route during a scare. Then one day your cat gets startled. They bolt. A leaf brushes their fur. They groom it off later. And just like that, the toxin that was always there finally gets in. To your cat, that plant was never safe. They were just trying to avoid it until they couldn't anymore. The fix? If your cat gives a new plant a wide berth, trust the warning. Look up every green thing in your home on the ASPCA's toxic plant list. The ones your cat avoids? They already told you which ones don't belong. And that's just what's growing in your home. Let's talk about what's glowing. Ever notice your cat leaves the room the second you turn on that lavender diffuser? That's not preference. That's survival instinct. Cats lack a critical liver enzyme called glucuronyltransferase. It's the enzyme that breaks down the phenols and terpenes found in most essential oils. Without it, those calming molecules you're breathing in, to your cat, they're building up in their bloodstream like poison with no exit. Here's the mistake that sneaks up on even the most careful owners. You're not putting oil on your cat so you think it's safe. But your cat is breathing microscopic droplets with every inhale, grooming the residue off their fur, walking across surfaces where the mist settled. A 2021 study in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery confirmed that repeated exposure to airborne essential oils can lead to liver toxicity in cats, even when the oils never made direct contact. So when your cat sits at the doorway refusing to come in, they're not being dramatic. They're reading the air composition and making the smartest choice they can. Leave the shift. Watch where your cat chooses to be when the diffuser is on. If they're suddenly avoiding their favorite room, you've got your answer. Their respiratory system is the smoke alarm. Don't ignore it. And hey, if you're starting to see your home through your cat's eyes for the first time, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because here at CreatureCode, we're decoding the signals your pet has been sending all along. Let's make sure you catch every one. Why does your cat hop onto the counter the second you leave the kitchen, but never during cooking? Because they can feel the heat radiating before you even turn the burner off. Cats have heat-sensing abilities in their whiskers and paw pads. They use it to gauge safe surfaces, measure the warmth of prey, detect changes in their environment. When that stovetop is still glowing red or radiating residual heat, your cat registers it as a burn risk immediately. Here's the danger most owners set up without realizing it. You finish cooking, turn off the stove, walk away. The burner looks off so it feels safe. But to a cat who jumps up 20 minutes later chasing a moth or a reflection, that surface is still scorching. Burn injuries in indoor cats peak in homes where the stove is the only elevated surface near a window. Your cat isn't being reckless. They're being a cat in a space that wasn't designed for them. The fix? If your cat countersurfs, give them a safer high perch near the same window. And never leave the kitchen until the burner is completely cool to the touch, not just to the eye. You've seen your cat bat at the dangling cord on your blinds 100 times. Looks like play, right? It's not play when the loop tightens. Cats don't understand cause and effect with objects that constrict. A loose cord becomes a noose in seconds if they twist wrong mid-jump or get a limb caught during a nighttime sprint. The terrible part? Most owners only find out after the fact. The cat was fine yesterday. The cord was always there. Until it wasn't fine and the cord became a trap. According to the Window Covering Safety Council, hundreds of pets are injured annually by corded blinds, and cats, with their climbing instincts and speed, are especially vulnerable. The change? Cut the loops. Install cordless blinds. Tie up any dangling cords higher than your cat can reach mid-leap. They don't know the danger until they're in it. You have to know it for them. Your cat has curled up inside the dryer 3 times this month. You shoo them out, laugh it off, close the door. Then one day you don't check. Cats are ambush hunters. They seek small, enclosed, warm spaces. It's hardwired. A freshly used dryer is everything their instincts say yes to, and they're quiet. You won't hear them slip in while you're grabbing the detergent. This isn't rare. Veterinary emergency rooms treat dryer trauma cases regularly, and they're as devastating as they sound. The rule? Every single time. Check before you close. Run your hand through the load. Make it muscle memory, because your cat's hiding instinct is already muscle memory for them. Why does your cat press their face against the window screen so hard it bows outward? Because they're locked onto movement outside. A bird, a leaf, a squirrel, and in that moment the screen isn't a barrier. It's just in the way. Cats don't test structural integrity. They lunge. And a loosely fitted screen pops out under 8 pounds of focused feline velocity. High-rise syndrome is real, but it's not just skyscrapers. Second story falls onto concrete, fences, or bushes cause just as many fractures, head trauma, and internal injuries. The solution? Screw in your screens. Add window guards. If your cat is obsessed with a particular window, assume the screen won't hold and plan accordingly. Your cat loves crinkling inside plastic shopping bags. It's cute, until they push their head through a handle. Plastic bags create a vacuum seal over a cat's nose and mouth when they panic and inhale sharply. The more they struggle, the tighter it gets. Cats don't problem solve in panic, they escalate. And suffocation happens in under 2 minutes. The move? Cut the handles off every bag before it touches the floor. Store them out of reach. Takes 5 seconds and eliminates the risk entirely. Remember that hazard I mentioned at the start, the one in almost every home, invisible to you but glaringly obvious to your cat? This is it. Cats have a resting respiratory rate nearly twice as fast as humans. They breathe more air per pound of body weight, which means they absorb airborne toxins faster, including odorless, colorless carbon monoxide. When your cat suddenly refuses to sleep in their usual spot near the furnace, or avoids the garage, or starts acting lethargic for no clear reason, they might be reacting to CO levels you haven't felt yet. Here's the haunting part. By the time you feel the headache, the dizziness, the confusion, your cat has already been breathing it in for hours. The non-negotiable? Install carbon monoxide detectors on every floor. Test them monthly. When your cat's behavior changes near gas appliances, don't dismiss it. They're the early warning system you didn't know you had. Your cat isn't paranoid. They're not weird. They're just paying attention to a version of your home you can't see, smell, or sense. And every time they freeze, avoid, or stare at something you think is nothing, they're giving you a chance to catch the danger before it catches them. So tonight, walk through your home like a cat. Low to the ground, nose to the air, eyes on what moves. You might just see what they've been trying to show you all along. If this shifted how you see your space, drop a comment with the one hazard you're fixing today. And subscribe to CreatureCode, because your pet's survival language? We're here to translate it.